Hey, how's it going? Um, yeah, cave theme day today, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how long it's actually going to take me, but I want to make at least the first thing that I want to do is to make the third background for the game that we've been working on. And then, so that involves making the background, making a transition in and out um, for a transition in from the mountains and out from the uh, forest, and then and then yeah, and then I think that's actually all that I plan on really doing on backgrounds for a little while. So once we get there, I guess it's character art after that actually. So yeah, I guess we can reevaluate once we get there. So first thing first, let's add a new background. So actually, I might as well just run the title. Oh, and if chat's working, I could re-enable. Actually, yeah, before I get started on that stuff, I might as well re-enable chat-based things if they're working. And it might be that they're still not working, and so I have to re-disable them, but we will find out. And keep the panel thread deactivated because we don't need the panel right now. But let's put the rest of it back in. Like so. Was there anything else that I commented out? Tom, hey, welcome. How's it going? You're the first person to arrive this fine day. Sorry I started so late. I'm just gonna have to get better at that. I was like doing life stuff today, like setting up a change of address. I didn't realize you could do that online, and it was actually, hey Mint, how's it going? Welcome, Mr. Max Meyer. Wow, you guys you guys are ready for it. Yeah, I like just started streaming like a couple minutes ago, but yeah, welcome everyone. Um, so yesterday when chat was being weird, I disabled chat from the title so that it wouldn't error out and crash. Hopefully, if it's working again, we can put it back in. Oh, yeah, I might want to re-enable that at some point, but that's unrelated to what I'm doing right now. Uh, yeah, maybe that was it. Maybe there's the only thing that we deactivated. So, all right, let's run it and see if it works today, or if it's still, as it had been. Oh yeah, the animation time. I put it to double speed, so little dude's gonna haul across the screen. Uh, I should probably set that back to a more normal number, because it just looks weird. um, all right, where would that go? Or that would be like it would be like in this block here, anim cooldown. Yeah, so it's not 0.25, it's 0.5 is a more normal number, I think, or a better number, a number that I would prefer. Uh, anyways, yeah, all right. I don't know. I figured why not let the title run. It's I gotta get used to having it there, and we'll get to see some of our super smooth transitions as we put in yesterday, and also what else? Oh yeah, I mean once we add in new backgrounds and new transitions, then we'll have those rocking as well. So all right, the caves. The caves. Let's actually, I guess I can start with sorry, excuse me. Um, uh, huh. Well, I was gonna say I could start with I could start. Ooh, yeah. It just occurred to me. I don't know how I want to resolve the top edge of the cave. I could have it just like run flat, like flush against the top of the screen, or like the top of the. Like I could just have it like. Yeah, no, huh? I think I had an idea for how I was going to do this, but now that it's time to actually do it, I'm forgetting which way I was preferring. Because I could either have it just like run flat and have just like a flat unresolved edge across the top of the screen, which would be consistent, and make it look more underground, or I could have it like. What else could I do? I could just have it. I could just visibly depict the ceiling, but then how would I resolve the? How do I resolve the top in another way? I mean, I guess it's okay to just have like that top edge. I'll probably just go for the flat top edge for starters at least, and see how that looks, and then adapt and change it as needed. Because it might just be fine. It might just look fine. Like that. Oh, although the spacing of the action phrases I think extends above that line, which might look a little bit funny. Again, I should just drop something in and see how it looks. All right. So yeah, let's open. Let's go to forest and just. Oh yeah, we need action frames too, right? So. Oh, layers. Yeah. All right. Let's copy these, all of these things, and then backgrounds, new folder, cave. Pop these here. Then we'll need a new folder for trans at some point. And what I said, the cave is going to transition to the forest. So in this, we'll eventually want a folder for forest. And just for starters, I'm going to use the the temp images from the mountains. So the cave will transition by way of mountains over to the forest for starters, and then at some point I'll have to put in real images for that. Alright, so cave, yeah. Let's bust this open. Alright, so here we have, like, these are the assets that we made for our forest. Wow, there are a lot of layers for the forest. The one that I care most about though right now is the yeah, that one. So like, I basically just want to, I don't care about most of this stuff. I just want to see roughly about the height of the path that the players walk on, because the path stays about the same regardless of where we are. So actually I might as well just delete these other layers for now. And then what is this layer? Oh, the mountains. Funny. Oh, so maybe I should just scoosh those layers instead of deleting them. Scoosh and hide. So let's merge these all down. Oop, not that far. That way if we want to review it and see how it looks, we can. Alright, yeah, so the cave. I guess the mountain would have been a better comparison, because it doesn't have this like shrubbery stuff. But whatever, this is fine. So the palette of the cave is going to be bluish, bluish and grayish. So the path will be gray, basically, like just a washed out version of this. Basically, maybe a little bit darker. This should be fine for starters. Oh, kind of just like crush those rocks, but that's fine, because I didn't really plan on keeping those anyways. And actually, now that I think about it, I guess the floor of the cave will be, might have like a slightly dirtier hue. Thunder Nova, hey, how's it going? Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, it's like it won't be completely desaturated. It'll have like a slightly whatever hue, because I don't know, people are walking on it, so it's probably gonna someone's probably tracked dirt. Hey, yeah. What? Wait, green screen? No, this is I'm just literally in space right now. I the reason I wasn't streaming last week is because I had to move into space, but I'm here and I'm all situated now, so we're back in action. Yep. Totally real space. 100% authentic. Tong tong. Tapping on the glass there. Whoops. Well, I guess you can see my hand. Tong tong. There we go. Anyways. Alright, so let's fill in these gaps because those are not not nice. Fill them in as hey, new follower, Imp Master, welcome. Thank you for following. I appreciate your viewership and your support. Uh, uh, all right, so I actually oh, that's a good question. Yeah, I do have artificial. Is it artificial oxygen? No, I have like life support systems and artificial gravity. That's the thing that I have. Yes, Python and Paint.net, because I'm a consummate professional. Yeah, yes, this is actually my breathing apparatus here. What you see here, it has decorative. It's just decorative elements and also I just Master knows what's up. All right, so in our expert dev tools here, Paint.net, let's use the brush tool to just clean up this path a little bit. And I'm basically just gonna get rid of the vegetation because I do not care. And actually, one quick way to get rid of stuff that's like scattered about is just to I don't know if this is gonna work perfectly, but just like spill its color, and then we spill the other. Oop, that one got rid of too much. We spill the other color we want to get rid of. Then you can just use the magic wand tool to get rid of all of it. So it's a little bit messy. It'll leave like a slightly untidy edge, but it'll get rid of most of what you want rid of. And these things that are sticking up are the rock formations that we used to have. So we can chisel some of those down a bit. I just wanted to start with this relative height, just so that the path height is like vaguely consistent from background to background. Because that's one thing that I hadn't really thought of when I started making my second background, and it was like a little weird to justify the two paths together. I mean, it wasn't that bad or anything, but I just hide the character layer for a second. Yeah. So yeah, the first step of the cave is just to actually I won't even bother justifying that edge yet, because let's actually start putting in the cave walls. So I want the cave walls to be slightly on the purplish side of blue, because I don't know, caves are just slightly purplish. Everyone knows that. It's science. I can't get too purplish because our chroma key is bright pink. So if I get a color too close to this bright pink color, it'll turn invisible, or like partially invisible. So I can't do that, but oops. Yeah, and that's way too. So let's use like a desaturated type blue type color. Let's just see what roughly that doesn't look like a cave. So, all right, so it'll be quite desaturated and quite dark too. That's slightly more of a cave, and it'll start to look. So actually, maybe I should use a flat gray flooring. Let's see what that looks like if I use flat gray flooring. It might look a little bit better. Probably. This will probably be easier to work with. So, yeah, what is our cave going to look like? Let's look at caves. Because I kind of want to get fancy with this a little bit. And I'm not going to go like crazy or anything, but I just want to get a little bit nice with how the cave looks. And I don't spend much time in caves, so I'm gonna need to use reference for this. Hey, check it out. Look, Google. I'm using Google. anyone who's watched the stream before will know that that's special because at my old apartment, my ISP was like weird, and I had to use Bing because like Google didn't always work. But I, I think I'm back. I think I'm back to civilization, and I can use Google like a like a real person. Uh, so we're going bluish, kind of like in like this theme of like cave coloration, like because I mean we're seeing like a lot of these like brownish pictures, but like as we see, oh, we're transitioning to the forest. As we see in the mountain range that we're transitioning out of into the forest. Sorry, that's the placeholder transition. The forest to mountains transition is a lot. I know, right? If you're asking seriously, it's an unimpressive search engine, and if you're asking facetiously, then yeah, seriously. Um, oh wow, yeah, like Bing works, right? Like you can use it. I just like it's like the thing that irked me the most about it was like Bing. If we go to Bing.com and we search for like spaghetti cat. If you go to their video searches, like if you click on them, it like opens it in a it opens it like in a little sub window. Like it doesn't actually take you to the page that you wanted to. Like it doesn't take you to like YouTube or anything. It like opens it and like it's the interface is like trying to be cool, but the result is that it's not fun to use. It's annoying. All right. Ooh, this one's pretty. Look at that. Um, so, but actually, these aren't necessarily useful because I was just opening pictures of blue caves. But the cave pictures that I actually want are going to be like cave walls, I guess. Well, so no, actually, maybe this one is useful. But like, yeah, like okay, this one's good. I mean, it's orange, so we'll have to switch the palette, of course. But I think that's actually pretty good. And you know what? No, this one is useful. Wait, that's the same one again. I don't need it twice. Just once is enough. Um, because oh wow, that's I can get behind that Dematsuki if yep. We were talking about doing a Club Penguin invasion one day on stream. And we were all recounting our tales of misspent youth. Basically. Um, I like it. You're a poet, Mitsuki. You and Google Translate are poets. Uh, so what else do I need? Oh yeah. I was looking specifically for like places where caves like open up into like greater, like kind of like this, kind of like I don't know, because so the way I want to set up the background, like so with these backgrounds, they're like layers where you know, there's stuff happening in the foreground and there's stuff happening in the background. And the foreground is going to be like a tunnel. So it's actually, a lot of the time, you're only actually going, oh, I know another thing I have to do today. I want to add in a new layer. I was talking about this yesterday. But I'll probably do it after. So I'll probably make the cave and then add in the new layer. Maybe make the cave and the transitions and then add in the new layer. Maybe. We'll see how that goes. Right, because yeah, in the cave, most of what you see is just going to be the layer that's right behind you, like the cave wall. But then there's going to be like places in the cave wall, in that cave wall where it opens up, and you can see deeper into the cavern. So it's going to be yeah. So it's going to be like a lot of the background is going to be stuff like this. You're just like walking along, but then like you pass by like an opening or something like that. And all of a sudden you're seeing like something like this in the background, like that sort of thing. But that's not exactly it. I want it to be more like I don't know what exactly powers this translation mechanism, but I don't know. It works well enough, I guess. That wait, what was the thing about stomach? One time it just added the word stomach randomly into a translation, but oh, um, oh yeah, sorry. I think I just hadn't scrolled down. Like for some, I think something about the translation tool screwed up the scrolling. But okay, let's see. Um, well, I am pretty old, if that's what you're trying to say. I am an old man, so Binri Senior. Bin Binri Senior is my father. Please call me Binri. All right. Let's see if we can't find a. You know, like those just like majestic, like sprawling, like cave cavern things with like, tons of like stalactites and like I don't know. Maybe they don't exist in real life. Maybe they only exist in fictional settings, which is why I'm lacking on photographs of them. But or maybe I just need a. Oh, well, thank you, Demon Suki. That's I don't think I've ever gotten that one before. All right, so here's like an artist's rendition of like kind of like the sort of thing that I was thinking of. Like basically just like I don't know. Most of the cave will feel a little bit like confined, but then like I just wanted like little peeks at stuff like this, and I think I might not use all layers of the background for. Oh no, I'll probably use all layers of the background. I was gonna say I wanted to have like different looking ones of these, like dramatically different ones, so that like so like there's this viewport in the foreground that you see that scrolls past, and no, because if I tried to do different ones, then no, the background will stay all thematic. I won't try and go fancy with like having different sections because like I mean I kind of could if I we'll see how ambitious I feel like when I get there because like I could have it like very thematically different like I could have like distinct sections like so one of them could be like all like have like this weird like some sort of like weird like floral situation going on and like the other could be like more of like a pool or like a pond like underground or I could do two different separate zones but then I'd have to do the dividers between those and then so like sometimes the portal would just be like looking towards those dividers which would be a little less special and so yeah I might just do like one sprawling backdrop. I might do an underground like water thing. Yeah, we'll see. uh I have very ambitious plans, but we'll see exactly what I'm actually able to execute. I might leave that one open for now, just so I can find like something better. Oh, this is kind of along the lines of what I was thinking. Yeah, I don't know, just something like that's cool. That's cool is what that is. So I guess maybe a reflection. I'll have to figure out how I want to do like a reflection. Uh, Yay! Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm a pretty impatient driver. Like I get a bit lead-footed when I'm just left to my own devices. I hope I don't get like pulled over by like space police or anything. But I just like I don't know. I haven't crashed into anything. I'm a pretty safe driver. I'll just crank it every now and then. Did I guess oh wow, look at that. I invented faster than light travel. Just because I was feeling impatient. um, Yeah, the trick to faster than light travel is you just you put the trick to faster than light travel is just you just put like you just lean a few phone books on the accelerator, and then you can go, like live cast from live stream from your quarters while the ship just like flies itself. Uh, Jonas, welcome. Um, that is a good question. Probably the pen. I'm gonna say the pen, because if you count like charcoal as a pen, like people were writing with charcoal on cave walls, and I'd say the charcoal is more like a pen than the cave wall is like the paper. So, all right, Demonsuki seems to think so. Uh, Restream, you're welcome. Hey, how's it going? Hey, new follower. Thunder number 308. Thank you for following. I appreciate your viewership and your support. Welcome. Um, oh, okay. Here, I'll scribble something down. Phone book on accelerator. Got it. Science. All right. This is probably enough reference images. I could probably start drawing from some of this stuff. So like these two, I kind of want the cave walls to I guess be like this. I guess I'm seeing like finer like vertical detail, but then like more broad stroking horizontal detail in that one at least. And then yeah, in this one kind of the same thing. There's like long broad like horizontal strokes, and then there's like finer vertical details. Uh oh. Oh, Demonsuki. Yeah, but when were hornets invented? Uh and other useless questions. Uh, so, yeah, that's a good call. Wait, but before Hornets started making paper, did anyone squeeze an octopus and like did like was there any creature that accidentally got octopus ink all over itself and tried to wipe it off and accidentally invented the pen in that manner? Um, uh, I guess pencils again, because like I'm going with like the charcoal analogy. Like pencils would be like one of the first writing implement, or charcoal would be one of the first writing implements, right? And so I don't know. That's the way I've been thinking about it. But I also have no like real like authoritative semantic basis for that. I'm just kind of saying stuff. um, so yeah, I guess I'll just actually I guess the other maybe I should keep this like craggy effect because it's actually a little bit closer to what I wanted. Like I'm actually kind of smoothing it out in a way that isn't necessarily an improvement. So maybe I'll try and keep some of it. Although, yeah, the thing about like that is that like it was like kind of at that height because of the shrubbery, and so I kind of want to. Nah, whatever. I think it's probably fine to do it this way. Just smoothing it out for now, for starters, and then yeah. I mean, it still doesn't look like these connect at all. It just kind of looks like I don't know, maybe like a bit of pavement, and then yeah, because like yeah, I'll have to yeah hmm. I know I want both of these colors to be prominent in the palette. I think I'll have to figure out a way to like work them together a little bit. Gosh, I used to draw like fairly regularly. I used to like actually like draw stuff sometimes. It was like fun. It was like a hobby. I just did it in my spare time. I was never like super great at it, but I just did it more, and so I was more practiced at it. um, so yeah, how distinct is the like the seam? Now I guess like the floor to wall seam is like fairly indistinct. Like it blends fairly naturally. So maybe it might be that I can't get this disparate with the this coloration, or maybe I just have to think about like that blue that I'm using like as these like dark patches, like that's the equivalent of the blue that I'm using, and then I'll have to introduce like brighter. Hey, I'm gonna mess up your name. Snow Nick Michael. Sorry for mispronouncing your name. Hey, how's it going? We're making a cave for. Oh yeah, so the little thing that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen there is the game that we're working on, and we have the forest, as you might notice down there, all set, and now we're going to work on a cave background. So yeah, we have the forest and we have the mountain done so far, and this will be the third. So, all right. So then, what will be the medium tones then? I guess the medium tones will have to be somewhere between these. So this is like 3243. It's like 060. So let's go. All right, let's go with like an intermediary tone. Right, like something. What would this look like? Alright, so that's kind of connective. We can kind of work with this a little bit. So maybe actually maybe it's actually a little more like this actually. And then we can still use the that other blue color for for like the shading to make it look darker and whatnot. Alright, yeah, that's probably better. A little bit better. It at least ties it together. It doesn't look like it looks like it might actually. Whoa, no, not that. It's a little too far. Looks like it might actually blend instead of just being like two completely separate things. So that's probably better. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Snow. I might just call you Snow because I can't pronounce the rest of your name correctly. All right. Well, so I'm actually just establishing the palette, Dematsuki. So of course there will be darker parts and there will be lighter parts. As I mentioned before, this is just like as I was talking before. I just want the cave to be bluish with like tinges of purple. And also, I think you could be right in an artistic sense, but you're probably wrong in the context of this game, just because I think you'll notice like actually all of the art in this game has a slightly muted palette, so suck it. I mean, no, you know what you were doing, so. uh, yeah. Alright, and then I don't know, maybe these are like stalactites or something. Whereas the other ones would be like stalagmites. No, I don't. Alright, let's look at our reference-y stuff. What the heck? Whoa. For some reason, when I click here on my screen, I'm just clicking on my taskbar, and on my other computer, it keeps opening the start menu. And on this computer, it's not doing the right. It's not. Oh, I think it's just messed up between my mouse and my tablet. Alright, so yeah, what am I trying to do? I guess I want to convert pretty much the entire thing to the lighter color, and then use the darker color as like the detailing. Because this isn't like, well, I don't know. This is like the mouth of the cave where there's lighting too. So yeah, no. I guess maybe it'll be different. Yeah, maybe the whole lighting situation will be based on where these like openings occur. Uh, so yeah, maybe the lighting will actually change fairly dramatically as the. I was gonna add in those openings last, or like after, but maybe I should start with them so that way we can see how this lighting is going to work, how this whole lighting system is going to work. So all right, let's zoom out a little bit. Zoom out. I said zoom out. Where's the zoom? There we go. So all right, so we have like oh, my tablet is not good for like fine details, so this is gonna like mess everything up. But we have like yeah, we have our we have stuff happening. Yeah, all right. So one of the things that I was noticing earlier is that there are broad strokes in like a vertical, or in a they're like horizontally. There's like broad structural elements, and then there are vertically smaller, finer details. So that's, I guess the first thing to do would be to add in the. Oh, and I still don't even know how I'm going to resolve the top of the screen. If it's going to be how it's going to look like in terms of just like flush against this arbitrary like stopping point, or if it's actually going to have like an upper. I don't because it doesn't really mean anything to like end it at the top. Like we're underground, so like hypothetically it goes like off to for whatever depth we're like however deep this cave is, but I don't know. I might just give it like a jagged upper part. Or I wonder if I could. No, fading doesn't work. I can't do gradients with the chroma key. Like I can't fade out the alpha using the chroma key because it would just like look like a gradient that turned like pinkish, and then at an arbitrary point it would start turning. It would just be invisible instead, because the chroma key is not that sophisticated. It's not with the software that I'm using. So anyways, I guess like yeah, we can just do something like this. Oh yeah, and then there has to be the opening somewhere. I guess I'll probably just put it centrally located, or maybe like off to one side. I'll just put it here, I guess. So for the front layer, this is going to be pretty simple because basically it just means like making a big empty spot where everything opens up, and it won't be 100% opened up. There'll be like there'll probably be a point that looks like it's a path leading down into this place, but it'll also primarily just be like you're like glancing down at it from like a cliff type area. So I don't know, the perspective will be a little bit like the mountains, in that like you're in one area and then you're looking down into this other cavernous, like much more grand, much more wider area. And of course, because I'm trying to do like relatively anime, yeah, I haven't been watching much anime lately. The most recent one that I got a notification. The most recent one that I watched was thank you, yes. The most recent one that I watched was that one is Kipo, is it? Kipo. If you type Kipo into chat, it should make that. Unless it's no, that should work. The last anime that I watched was sorry, I'm jumping from topic to topic here. But the last anime I watched was Attack on Titan, and I did really enjoy it. I just sat down to watch like a few episodes of it because everyone was talking about it and everyone was saying how good it was. I ended up just watching the entire thing start to finish in one afternoon, or in one day. Uh, yeah, so I used to watch more anime, I think, but I don't know. I watched it. I don't know. I've been watching a lot of like British television in recent years. Like British television has like a lot of really good dramas, which like dramas tend to be like it's easier to make I don't know. It seems like when people set out to make like really good television, it ends up being like fairly dramatic, and I didn't really like. I was never really like shooting to like. Vicky, hey, how's it going? Space is pretty big, you guys. It takes a little while. I mean, I'm traveling pretty fast, but yeah, I my Netflix account is still active, and it it's not region locked anymore because in space there's no region locking. So yeah, uh, that's my story. Anyways, I'm sticking to it. Oh yeah, what am I gonna do here with this grand cave view? Oh, yeah, actually, so one thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna have multiple windows. Like, there's gonna be this big one where you can like you can really see it opened up and like you can really get a look at the background. But then I think I'm actually gonna have like some smaller windows too. Uh, Whoa, wow. Jupiter and Saturn, like the planets out on the edge are like huge too, right? They're like just absolutely massive in scale, or some of them are, right? Like there's like at least some of them are like just ridiculously oversized. Do I want to do I want little peaks at the background? What would that mean in terms of the cave? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess that could work. These are just like, I mean, I'll clean these up, but these are just like little viewports into the background, and then that's like the main view. So something like that, maybe. That's good. The more of these I put in, the less background I actually have to do. So, uh, whoa. Uh, 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 wow, this conversation is awesome. I don't know what conversation you guys are having, but the conversation that Google Translate and I are having about your conversation is really great. Top notch. Um, so, uh, so, right, yeah. Let's figure out how these cave lines or these caves are actually supposed to look. I think I will do. So wait, is the background going to be lighter? Yeah, no, there's going to be unexplained light. Maybe like phosphorescence or something in the background. So that way there's going to be light actually emanating from these, from anywhere there are these, anywhere there's, Dimatsuki. How do you say 420 blaze it in Japanese? uh, sorry. So, yeah, sometimes the translate just adds in extra words just for fun. Like you get freebies, free words, just thrown in there. Don't bother having to like intend those words. It just nice. Is burrs even a word? Is that even a word like burras or burrs? Is that even a real word? Why why would Google say that unless it was a word? Like, cause you can't translate proper. Awesome. Blu-rays. Oh, but no, excuse me. Blu-rays. 420 Blu-rays, yeah. Excuse me. Sorry, I find that way too amusing. Um, so what was I doing? uh, what do caves look like? Is going to be a question that plagues me for at least all of today. Hopefully, I'll at least come up with like a somewhat satisfactory answer. All right, so yeah, there's going to be a change in lighting here. For now, I'm just going to indicate it like this. Basically, just going to like thwomp the whole area. And, like the gist is that like these two tones will be used primarily for like the the coloration. These. Huh. Yeah, that's funny. I was just yeah, but actually, if you mentioned that, it occurred to me, like I can name like Japanese beers, and like I I definitely like there's definitely a recognizable influence from alcohol, just in like Japanese culture. But that just immediately made me think though about like other substances, and I guess those aren't as recognizable. I mean, I guess like in general those aren't as frequently depicted in popular media because there are different like legal ramifications of like other substances, whereas alcohol tends to be pretty widely available. But yeah, I have no clue what Japanese stoner culture would even be like. Indeed. Indeed. All right, this one's bigger, so it'll have more light pouring through. And actually, I probably put too much on that other one, in that other area. Um, yeah, this will be like crazy emanating light, I guess. Because why not? The cave is probably going to be a bit of extremes, like in contrast. There's going to be like very bright, relatively bright areas from the phosphorescence. And then, can I just. There we go. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, it is Fujimi. Yeah, it is. Oh, so I guess I'll actually want two tones for the path itself. So is that one that we have there? Is that the lighter tone or is that the darker tone? I mean, maybe it's neither, and I'll just make a slightly lighter and a slightly darker version. Because we'll also want the lighter version. Uh, uh, I am multi-talented. I have talents that I have talents beyond game dev. uh, huh. Interesting. How long were you there, Buki? Or did you say that already? Sorry. I got really interested by the translator, and I kind of stopped reading the non-translated chat for a while. Sorry if you already said that. Oh wow. Were you working in game dev out there, or was that like when you're? Sorry, yeah, you might have said some of this stuff already. So feel free to just ignore my questions if you. That word looks like California. Is that how you? Is that was that just a weird transliteration? Yeah, I also give you permission. I give you permission. I hereby give you permission, Dimutsuki. Ibuki and I say you can go to Japan. Okay. um, yeah, come visit me in space, and then you can just jump out of the spaceship when we're like flying past Japan, and then you can see all of it. Uh, so what are we doing? All right, yeah. So that's too much. It's probably gonna be more like, well, yeah. I guess I could like make it beaming directionally. I mean, this doesn't make complete sense. No, so I shouldn't do too much. But I might be able to get about. I might be able to do a little bit of it. It's like just make it really. I don't know. It's just I don't know. It just seems like too much for just those like little dots. So I'll like probably bring it in a little bit. I don't know why. Oops. um, oh, interesting. Oh, I know a guy who's in who he moved to China just recently, and he's teaching English over there. Yeah, live it up. Mendoku. I don't know what Mendoku is. Excuse me, sorry. I'm either just recovering from a cold or I have like allergies or something. Either way, if I lean off camera, it's because I I it's not because I'm doing drugs like someone asked yesterday. It's not because I'm doing lines of drugs. Although that was a very good guess. um, all right, so what am I doing now? What am I doing? I mean, like, really, so far, all I've done is to block out the general layout that I'm looking for. I haven't done really. Mendoku. It's like, oh, sometimes that Mendoku, I just don't even know. I just. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Well, that seems like a cool thing to do. Yeah, my friend who went over there over to China to teach, he wasn't even really looking for a job. He already had a job. He just decided that that would be like a cooler thing to do with his life, and so he went for it. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a cool idea. Just like get that experience. Just like go someplace completely different. Did you did you know Japanese before you left, or did you pick it up all while living there? Um, Again, sorry if you can I don't know if I can translate these when they're not actually in when they're not written in when like, I don't think it does it translates the transliterations. Uh, um, hmm. Oh wow. Oh no. Yeah. Yikes. That's awesome. That is really cool. I if I didn't if I wasn't so completely pleased with my life, I would totally do that. Like if I could have done that earlier in my life, I totally would have done that. Or like I don't know, maybe this whole crazy game dev thing doesn't work out. I can always have it as like a plan B. Because I don't speak any other languages. I just speak English, and it's like, I don't know, it's a little boring. um, all right, I'm just wasting time. I'm not even really accomplishing anything. Uh, Not really. uh, so, yeah, the cave walls. Let's look at more cave walls again. Ultra racky. Yeah, I'd say that I'd say Ibuki is probably the rackiest, or the. Sorry, I have no clue what I'm saying, but Carl, hey, welcome. How's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Uh, oh, whoa, that's wild. I think I think whatever is driving this translation tool, need, I don't think they're completely fluent in the language. um, whoa. Three languages? Well, I mean, I guess I kind of know another language. I guess I kind of know three languages if you count C languages and Python, but um, uh, oh, that just reminded me of a funny thing. But what am I doing? All right, I'm looking at. Oops, I accidentally messed up my taskbar. Sorry, technical, whatever. um, all right, sorry about that. Yeah, oh, sorry. Um, the yeah, the reference images, because I just need to pin down this wall texture so that I know it's like craggy. Oh, you know what? I should just open these on my other monitor so that way I don't have to keep switching back and forth between them. Sorry, one sec. I'm just gonna do the same image search over here on my other monitor, which is on another computer, and that way I can pick up the pace a little bit at least. What was it? Was that one and this one were the two that I liked. So let's view image. Yeah, make that nice and big. And then view image, make this one nice and big. Alright, that should be easier. Excuse me. Actually, let's make this even bigger. Bigger. Alright, there we go. Oh, okay. So, yeah, I guess some patches can be like more flat, and some could be like a little rougher. Something is an English word. Oh, it's not going to translate it because so much of it is already in English. Interesting. Oh, yeah, I did notice that at some point. What was it? Because like sometimes you hear words that sound very much like English words when you're listening to Japanese. Um, I'm trying to think of, is baseball is like isn't like baseball like Basebaru or something like that? It's like, because I remember I was hearing someone talk about it in Japanese, and it sounded like they were saying it kind of sounded like they were saying baseball. Uh, oh no! All right, so it was something. It was like, I forget what was. It was maybe it was like basketball or something. Is there some sport that sounded that? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So maybe I guess they were using that word for it. All right. Anyways, yeah, that's cool. It's like yeah. It's because like the characters or like There aren't the exact. Interesting. Yeah, the character sets don't match exactly because like for some like letters there just aren't like characters for it, right? Like the RL split, right? There's not those two sounds, so um, so yeah, yeah, baseball's really big from what I got. The only sports video game that I've ever really liked was a baseball game from Japan. It was like I forget what it was called. It was like Shoryaku All Star Baseball or something like that. It was really good. It was for Nintendo 64, and my cousin got it somehow. I don't even know how, and it was like all Japanese. I didn't understand. I had to memorize where to go in the menus because I didn't know. I never knew where to go in the menus. um, and it was really cool. Uh, oh yeah. So this lighting situation. Hmm. Yeah. All right. So what is? All right. This is like. All right. Now that we've broken up by like these holes in the wall, we at least now we have like discrete chunks that we can work on. So I guess the first one to work on is like really this one. So I'm just gonna. What am I trying to say here? Basically, I'm describing here. Uh, Kind of like a like I don't know, like alternating slopes, kind of, and then I don't know, maybe in the back it's just more like vertically oriented. Uh, so then it has this resolve. I guess this kind of just goes like up or whatever. Oh, so yeah, whatever. This one. Oh well, yeah. No, how does this? How do these justify? This like, so this like, yeah. I mean, this obviously goes in. So yeah, no, that works. I guess well enough. Uh, yeah. So now let's go back with the darker. Or no, actually, that's before we switch tones. Let's put in a few more accents here. More vertically oriented. Whatever's. Excuse me. Um, oh, sorry. I tuned out of chat for a second there. Computer. It seems like uh yeah, Japan is such a cool place. I went there once. I like visited it briefly, and it's just such a cool place that that's definitely a language I'd be interested in learning. And it's like relevant in game dev too, because game dev is of course really big in Japan, or Japan is a big player in game dev, at least. So I'm a I'm a little bit jealous or envious or just in awe of your talents, I guess I should say. Uh, or yeah, no, darker tone, darker. Uh, what am I doing? Oh yeah, right. So I should probably use a smaller implement. Although this is like the close up, so I probably don't want to get like too. What am I doing? I probably don't want to get too finely detailed. No, I guess I can, because this is supposed to be more textural than anything else. So it's just supposed to have like a vertical sort of texture to the to like these rock caves. Uh, this is not gonna look impressive, not by a long shot. But whatever. It's supposed to look like it is just supposed to be like background, right? And I think this isn't going to be the interesting part of the background. The interesting part of the background will be the parts that that have like uh, the the interesting parts will be the parts that have the background reveal, like the openings that reveal out into the bigger open areas. That'll be like the more interesting parts to look at. This is just whatever, just to break up the homogeny a little bit. So alright, whatever, that's cave wall texture-y enough for my tastes. Maybe a little more texture here. I don't know. I mean, on some level, everyone's an artist, but if you're asking whether I'm a good artist, oh, you're asking if Ibuki, yeah, Ibuki is a good artist. uh, um, you know what it was, Mitsuki? It's I was just like minding my own business, walking down the street one day, and some guy comes up and was like, "Hey, I'm planning this thing where everybody except for Mitsuki goes to Japan," and I was like, "All right, sure." And so, yeah, that's it's literally a conspiracy to keep you to keep you away. Uh, if that helps. All right. um, what do I want to do? Do I want to use this color for the highlights? Or do I want to use like a? No, I do. I think I want to keep that separate. So I think I'll use like a more bluish tone. So like basically just like crank up the. Well, no, not. I shouldn't increase the saturation really, but just the. Nah, I guess I actually have to decrease the saturation a little bit. Otherwise, it seems like there's more saturation relatively. So, I mean, I can also play with the saturation overall. Rammy. Yeah, that sounds right. It might have been a Rammy. Huh. Oh, alright. So I did accidentally increase the saturation a little bit. So, yeah, let's just see. I don't know. That might be right enough. I don't know. No, that looks too saturated. It's like, I'll turn down the saturation slightly. I just don't want to go to literally zero saturation. Oh, no, maybe I don't want to go lighter than the floor. Oh, actually no. Maybe I should do the lighting based on the phosphorescence, like not just based on this color. And if I do that, then what color is the phosphorescence? I think if anything, it would be like a yellowish phosphorescence, or maybe like orange. I think is a little too far. Like a greenish yellowish, I think might be. Here, let me. Oh wait, yeah, you're a mod, so your links go through. I don't have to repost your links. All right. So. Yeah, I encourage people to post cool stuff in chat if you can post links, and if you can't post links and you want to post cool stuff, I can repost images too. So because I like cool stuff, and I like I like people, so I like people to get cool stuff. That's the rationale there. I'm not going to be happy with this ever, so I should probably just stop fiddling at it, but I'm especially not happy about it right now, so I'm going to go in and actually darken in this layer too, just so it's not as pronounced. No, that's not better. Whatever. Oh yeah, all right. So let's say there's like a greenish yellowish tone to the phosphorescence. Ooh, I don't know if I should do that. Actually, maybe I should wait and actually make the phosphorescence and then come back to this once I have any idea what I'm doing. I can also put the little guys. Oh, their hats. Their hats are such a similar color. All right, so the blue should probably be less purple. The blue should be bluer. I completely did not think about that. Yep. Well, it's a good thing I decided to show them again. Alright, select all, adjustments, hue to the, no, not that direction. More greenish. Bluish greenish. That's probably close enough. Alright, yeah. Yeah, definitely wasn't thinking about that. I'll want to do like just a bigger overall color pass once I'm done with it anyways. I know, that's I just feel that way too. Like as soon as I finish something, the very next thing that I do, I'm like, ugh, well now I should update. Now I should replace all the old stuff with this new thing that I just did. And it's just like portfolios are just perpetually out of date. They can only ever be close to updated. Yeah, what is this? How does this texture look? That's probably fine enough. Because it's not going to be like any one bit of the background texture that really sells this as a cave. It's going to be like the accumulation of all of it, really. So, like the whole scene altogether. My portfolio. The closest thing I have to a portfolio right now is my website, which is srsly. There's a link to it under the stream thing, srsly.bz. If you click on it, it just has a few of the projects that like when I first started working independently, like I was putting together just like a few projects as like I was trying to like show a little like variety in like the type of projects that I'd work on and just like whip up a few titles to be demonstrative for that purpose, and so that's like the closest thing I have right now. Oh yeah, right. The other thing yeah. Yeah, and then what if you work on a project and then it gets canceled or something? Then like everything you worked on, like it just like kind of dies. It just like if even if like the best thing you ever did in your entire career was like on a project, if that project gets canceled, then it will just disappear into the annals of history. Yeah. um, I guess yeah, that's one of the things I like about working independently is that I kind of control my own fate in that regard. Like I, yeah, yeah. Actually, I guess my I have like the video archive just from streaming. I have like the video archives that. Oh no. Oh yeah, I remember you mentioned you were working on an MMO before. Uh, thank you, Carl. um, I'm I'm trying. Oh yeah, I was gonna. I guess I could. Yeah, I'll just like do a little more cave wall texturing here, and then I'll go because the other thing I want to do is to actually like start working on the backgrounds because I think the backgrounds will or like the layers further behind this layer will inform a little bit of what I want to do with this layer, specifically with regard to the lighting. So let's get that hashed out, shall we? Uh, what uh, what the what? Oh yeah, right. Sorry. It helps to recap a bit, like just talk through like what are the steps of what I'm working on. Sometimes by the time I'm done talking through all the steps, I forget what the first one was. Because my brain, that's how my brain works. It's always worked that way. Alright, so what am I doing here? There's like, I don't know, we'll just do like kind of a split layer sort of situation. Nothing fancy here. So, narrower brush. What was I using? I think I was using a 4. Let's zoom in closer so my alright, yeah, thanks for stopping by, Masiki. Nice to see you. I I can pretend to speak Japanese if you give me the phonetic if you give me the phonetic phrase. Although I'm sure that's not nearly as fun as speaking to someone who actually is able to produce meaningful conversation. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I was looking more towards like that type of cave. So like, yeah, it is a little more blocky at the bottom. There's like some. Oops, I was accidentally pressing the button on my stylus. There's like some textural elements, but like a lot of it is like it's not like as it's not like the other one where it's a little smoother than the other one. It's not as like rough around the edges. So it's not that bright though. In fact, it's actually much darker than that. So yeah, so I guess there is a little bit of that textural stuff going on lower down, and then kind of gives way to. I mean, I'm just gonna actually. I guess we can kind of have it. We don't have to have it go like the entire distance. We can have it kind of like fade out a little bit too, so it's like not as pronounced. It's just kind of like tapers off, and we could even another like porthole around here. Like actually not right there. Right there maybe. I really shouldn't be putting these so close to the edges, because it's gonna justify. Oh yeah, justifying the doing the wrap for this one is gonna be a little weird. Oh, maybe I should. Yeah, no. You know what I should do is this should be like the wrap section. Oh, huh. Yeah, and I just thought of a new way to do that. All right. Well, hey, that's I mean, they say that's the best way to like really get fluent at a language is to like immerse yourself in it. So, yeah, even if you don't like speak like a scholar of like Japanese language, then you can at least like carry a conversation, which is arguably the more important usage of language. Not having like perfect grammar, but having actually the capacity to relate to another human being. So that's cool. Uh, oh yeah, and so it's not like this actually. It's not like this perfect unbroken beam. Really, it's like more. There's more like. I mean, it's like it gives like the rough impression of that, but like it's like detail to it. All right, and then let's clean this up a little bit. Although not too much, actually. Oh yeah, more lower than like upper. get a little bit more of a transition back from like the bottom section. Not like that at all. Not. Oh, I can't do fine detail with this pen. And actually, I realized it's not actually my tablet. It's Paint.net. So at some point, I didn't want to do it today, but at some point I do have to upgrade to a better program. Ugh. Yeah, I don't like this because if I have to zoom in, then I have to, then I'm not seeing like the big picture as much, and so I get, like, in order to do this brushwork, I have to zoom in a little bit, but, alright, anyways, this is not better. I'm just like drawing and redrawing and undrawing and redrawing the same lines again and again. So I'll stop this soon. Amazing. I have the dark ink, right? Yeah. Yeah, no, this is probably fine. Phantom Hourglass, oof. Well, yeah, Phantom Hourglass would have been good for repetition, right? Because, you're not going to get it all the first time. And that game, that game had some repetition in it. Yeah. I know. Yeah, maybe that's why I like the approach. Because, like, I learned Python just by, like, by working on a project in Python, not by, like, sitting down and studying it, really. Like, I had a primer, but other than that, I just went for it. So I don't know. I like it. I like that approach. I think there's a lot that like, well, so the one of the biggest benefits of that is that you're like real, like you're like in it from the get go. You don't have to spend like years like getting ready. You're just like, you just go, like, you just like go right from the start. It's a time saver. Alright, I should stop pecking at this. So yeah, right. Anyways, I'll probably call this like satisfactory, just for now, and then I'll go do some of the background layers. So we're not going to see much of the background at any one time, but there will be this giant like space where through which we can see much of the background. It just occurred to me, the cave is really going to drive home the repetitiveness of these backgrounds a little bit. Uh, huh. Huh. So maybe I should. I don't know what I should do about that. Or should make this less distinct. Not really, but I should make it less. Like, maybe this should just be like. Maybe this should just be like bigger brush. Maybe this should just be like two portholes instead of like so many smaller ones. Excuse me. Actually, that's not going to help super much, is it? Nah, probably not. But should almost also make. Oh no, yeah, no, I know what I can do. I'll just make this one less dramatic. By like just narrowing it a bit. Yeah. Because it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be quite as wide as it was. And then I can put in another smaller one here, probably. Probably what I'll do. It's like, just something like that, I think. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I tend to, when I work on art type stuff, I tend to like just kind of zone out a little bit. One thing that I have to, for people who haven't been working on art as much or plan to at some point, but just haven't yet for whatever reason. Never do anything good from the start. Like don't like I these like these textures that I did in the background here, like if I wanted to erase them all right now, I could totally do that right now. And it's really important that like I have that capacity, because like if you get like super zoomed in and you like get like the perfect texture right here, like even if this little section is like super perfect, if you realize in the greater scheme of things, like you actually can't justify that part and you have to like basically remodel that section, like how I kind of like did a quick remodel of like some of these sections here, you're gonna lose a lot of work that way. So yeah, I wish I could. Like it's not like I think to myself, oh, I should stop talking now. It's just that my brain stops coming up with things to say. Like it stops feeding me stuff. And then like a minute will go by and I'll be like, oh, I haven't been talking at all. I think also it's because I never feel like I know what I'm doing when I'm making art. I'm always just like, I just like try stuff until something works. And so because that, I rarely feel like I could be saying anything, especially useful. Uh, Oops. Oh, were they? They usually have really good conversation. I was hoping they would. I didn't. Yeah, like I only listened to it for a moment before I switch streams, because I don't want to sit here like staring at it while waiting. But they're usually really good. Maybe they were just having like an off day or something. But yeah, sometimes they have a similar thing that like what you and If Dog Then do sometimes, where like they'll like, well, they co-work kind of a little bit, and then sometimes they'll even have like other people, like they'll even like call up their friends and like just have like a fun friendly conversation going on. Yeah, when I'm working on like iconography, Carl, I the shape tools are great because like sometimes you just need a square, and in fact, fairly often you just need a square, and it's like great. Yep, circles. Don't bother. Don't never try and draw a circle freehand. If you want a perfect circle, don't draw it freehand. Like if you want like a craggy like natural like round-ish formation, like yeah, draw that freehand. But if you want like a perfect circle, no. Yeah, yeah. The only time that I've actually caught you guys streaming that I was not streaming was when I had come off of a 15-hour stream, and so I was so tired that I tried to watch and then I just like immediately fell asleep. But like I really liked what you like, at least in what I saw of it. You guys are really good at that. Yeah, you keep it going. You keep like you I don't know, just yeah, like can you imagine like tuning into like a podcast or something, and then just like there were like just like 5 minutes of silence in the middle of it? It's like no one wants, no one likes that. That's not a good thing. Don't so yeah, no, don't do that. I just I use the podcast comparison not because like it's like I know it's not a perfect comparison, but like I really think it's like it's like the standards that streamers could hold themselves to. Really, it's like a it could be like a yardstick. It's like, you know, if because if you're being severely less entertaining than podcasts, then why do you expect people to watch your stream? They could just be like listening to podcasts or like video podcasts or doing whatever else instead, or just watching the other streamers out there who are more interesting. And yeah, I sorry, I just had a very self-conscious moment where I was talking about talking on streaming, and it occurred to me that I was talking on streaming. um, I guess I should come up with something to say while we'll work on art stuff, because it's not like this will be the last time I ever work on art. Um, so if I was going to talk about art while I was making art, like what would I talk about with art? I guess I could just talk about like I yeah, no, I mean I guess I should do like what I do normally when I'm working on things, is just talk about like what I'm doing and what I'm thinking. But like yeah, so like I mentioned before, part of the reason I don't come up with that stuff to say like just naturally as much is that I like the stuff that I do when I'm like making art is very like trial and error based. It's like, is this gonna give the desired effect? Oh yeah, look, it kind of did, or oh no, it really didn't. And so I guess as long as everyone expects or realizes that like expectations of me working on art are best set low. High expectations are not going to pay off. I guess I might as well talk about this stuff. So like basically I'm just trying to give like a sense of I don't have like a specific idea of what these walls are really actually supposed to be shaped like. Like I have vague sense. I had like a light idea, like just based on like general forms, and like we were looking at those cave walls earlier, and uh, oh no, oh Buki, that's awful. Oh man. Yeah. All that wasted time. Uh, and I'm guessing like no one really even bothered to point it out, because that's not uncommon. Like there are so many streams out there where it's just music and no speech. Like everyone who tuned in was probably just like, oh hey, this is one of those music only streams. Oh man. I I'm like nervous about stuff like that. Like if there aren't people in chat, I get really nervous about what the stream is doing, because the only sense I really have of like what is actually getting broadcast is what you guys respond to. So like if even when chat goes quiet sometimes, I'll ask like a very direct question every now and again. I'll just to try and elicit like someone from chat to verify that like everything's still working. Um, so if you ever hear me ask very direct questions, I don't mean to sound needy. It's partly because that's how how I like check up on technical matters. So yeah, I'm basically like so for people who like do art stuff, you know that like lighting and shading and that sort of stuff is how you like give volume and shape. So like I don't um nice. Well, you're covered. That's an important part of streaming too, is that like your only options when you're streaming are hey Leetrick, welcome, how's it going? Yeah, art stuff. Or Leet Rich. I don't know. Leetrick or Leet Rich. Sorry for mispronouncing your name. Um, oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't make like if I had to sit down and like draw a detailed forest, like it would look as as impressive as that forest looks, which is to say not impressive. But the one thing that really interests me, like the reason I do art stuff like this is that I like things like that. I like parallax. Like parallax is like one of my favorite things. So yeah, I like implementing stuff like that, and so I just like I just make whatever of my own art I can in order to get effects like that. Thank you very much for your kind words. I'm thinking. Oh yeah, the other thing I was talking about with the oh Elite Rich. All right, sorry. uh, 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 yeah, the other thing that I was talking about earlier with like the parallax is is I'm going to add a layer in the foreground too. So like the like oh is the are there yeah oh yeah there's probably just like one little guy that's walking across the screen because there's yeah all right here I'll put a few more characters in there by joining the chat channel. Uh, Wait, no, that's not it. It's this one, yeah. So now I should be in there, or in the near future I should be in there as well. And heck, I can join it with my other bot, just to get more characters walking through. And actually, the reason that I actually that's fine. Well, no, LG pop up. All right, so yeah, so the reason that I'm adding these other characters to the cower. Whoops! I'm not signed in. Whatever. Heck with that one. I'll just add. All right, I'll just cower. Right, yeah. So I'm gonna. My tablet is it is a Wacom bamboo pen, model CTL 470. It's very inexpensive. I got it for like $50 on sale. Like I was saying, I'm not an artist. I'm not a good artist anyway. Oh yeah, right. Sorry. Uh, uh, Wait, I don't know if the bot's working right now. Because I just, oh, it's probably not. Oh, whoa, hold on. This is interesting. I'm just noticing now that, like, nothing's actually printing in this chat channel. And it doesn't seem to be responding to it either, so that it might be broken, which is fun. Chat was super broken yesterday, so I don't know what is going on right now. Let's look into this though. Wow, look at that. Oh, right. I know what I did. I got rid of a fairly important piece of this whole pie. The thing where the sorry, I'm gonna bring the bot down for a second and then restart it. I forgot the part where the bot actually like gets to speak in in chat. All right, so now it should be back up, and now it should work, probably. All right, that's a little bit better. So let's search. Oops, search. So there should be two adventures. Yeah, all right, so there are two characters. Yeah, right, sorry. So I got on that whole tangent because I wanted to say that, yeah, so for the forest, like, there's going to be a foreground parallax layer so that there's, like just brush that passes by. Just to, because, like, in the forest, like, it almost looks like the forest is, like, cut in half and, like, the characters are just, like, kind of stuck on top of the forest. It doesn't look like they're, like, in the forest, really. It doesn't look like, I don't know. It looks like they could be walking in front of a forest rather than walking through a forest. So, yeah. So for the forest, I'll probably have like just like brush and stuff that like that occasionally passes in front of the characters. And then for the cave, I also want to use the same layer to imply like the other side of the cave wall. Like there'll be like stalactites and stalagmites and stuff passing in front of the characters. Oh, nice. Yeah. Wacom just makes fine products, right? So even like they're like I was saying, I'm not a good artist, so even like just yeah, this does the trick. Whoa! Oh, it's green on the back, which is my chroma key color. Oops. Um, so all right, yeah. So I think I'm fairly whatever with this so far. I'll just brighten the this portal here. Oh yeah. So I also have to think about the transitions in and out. Actually no, for the foreground of the cave, the transitions in and out are actually going to be really simple because there's just going to be a mouth to the cave, and so it's just going to go basically from this. Well, so no, the only thing I really need to worry about with the transitions is I just need to make sure the lighting changes. So like the cave, yeah, the cave. So it'll start out, or the main loop section of it will be this, and it'll get like bright-ish in some places. But then around the cave of the mouth, it's gonna get really bright as you like reemerge into daylight. Uh, so, uh, man, I'm going really slow. This cave stuff. I I think yeah, I think I'm caring too much about like trying to get like a good result. So I should probably just like go quicker because like I was saying earlier, the way I like approach art, like I really shouldn't be trying to make anything good. Personally, I really shouldn't be trying to make anything good right now because I could very possibly have to redo much or all of it in the near future. So yeah, a much better use of my time would be to flesh out those other layers. Um, so, huh? Yeah, I think hmm. So the back layer is going to be the spacious canyony things like so like yeah, so the front layer of the cave, like this is just supposed to be like a tunnel that we're walking through, and these empty patches are where we peer into the background, and in the background we're going to be seeing like these like beautiful cavernous type places. And I think I was saying that there's supposed to be like phosphorescence or like bioluminescence in here, so that there'll actually be like lighting, which is why I'm putting like this like slightly lighter tone around around these spots that we see here. So there are actually three layers to the background right now. So the furthest back layer will be these caverns that we see, and I actually don't have a specific plan for the middle layer. The middle layer might be like it might be like these black, like these dark shapes that like you can't really distinguish, and like are just kind of like partially obstructing the view, like maybe like some stalactites like that. And it's entirely possible I won't use that layer either, so I guess we'll see. What else could I do with that layer? No, you know what else I could do? Excuse me. The excuse me. The middle layer could be like winding path type stuff. Like it could be like more like geography kind of like it could like kind of have like instead of like so like if the back layer is caverns, like this layer could just be like more tunnels, but not like the tunnel that you're walking down, like side tunnels. So that way, how'd that work? Would that work? Because like these would be like additional tunnels, and these extra tunnels would have to would also have to have windows that would let you see further back into the caves, and then you'd only actually see these like beautiful caverns in the background in the case that like the other slides like align so that you could actually see that far back, which could be kind of nice. That was like, it was this like kind of visual effect that made me really want to do the caves, like the way, like, because with the trees, like you see the second layer of trees through the first layer of trees, and then you see the last layer of trees through those first two layers of trees. But like it's just trees, 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 all the way across the screen. Whereas like with these with the cave, we can do it a little more. Like it might be that you know, there might be some parts of the cave that you don't see the first time walking through it. Like there's some things that you might see with yeah, right. There's some things that you might only see like once once these portals like actually like align, and they give you a glimpse into like the backdrop. So that could be kind of cool. I don't know how I'm gonna justify that exactly. Excuse me. Excuse me. Because like if the big portal in the front layer is revealing to you like the big caves in the background, like the middle layer might like creep in, right? Because like, or no, it might like the front layer might like creep too fast or like it might, at the rate that the front layer moves, it might creep forward enough so that you can see the middle layer, and so I'll need to figure out like what those shapes mean, and I guess like yeah, so I guess like yeah, so I guess the middle layer will just have like shapes that like it'll be like a shoehorn type of thing. So like the middle layer will just have these tunnels that like go off in either of two directions, and so that way when the place where they converge, like it's just like a wall. It's just like a wall that's slightly further back than the front layer. But in the places that they go, like when you follow them down in those directions, those are like those are the paths that lead to the these other like cavernous like areas. All right, so I think this is good. So like where is, yeah, just to like rough it in, I guess. So like the the where's paint? So we have wait, what? No, that's not a real thing. Close. So yeah, so where the front layer is like this, then I guess I'll just like rough in the. Oops, I did not mean to delete that layer. In fact, I should save this so that I don't accidentally destroy everything that I've done so far. Did I save that to the right place? Yes. All right, good. Hey Trent, how's it going? Yeah, I was like, I knew I was making a cave. I knew I was making like cave background today, and so I was like, oh, I'll name the stream Spelunk. Oh wait, no, I'll name it Caves. Wait, there are a lot of games that take place in caves. Turns out, it's hard to be evocative about a cave without accidentally referencing another game that actually exists. All right, so yeah, just so this front layer is clearly not done, but just to rough in the other layers. So like the very back layer is like the pools. They're like the beautiful pools. Like what's the one that's closest to it is like something between this, like not quite as like bright and icy as this one, and not quite as drab and monochrome as this one, but like it was legally distinct, so uh, thank you, Trent. uh, yeah, so I guess like what are these other? Oh yeah, this was like I mean, this is of course not a photograph, but like this is an artist who kind of captured like the type of like fantasy type of thing that I was hoping to go for. Where like excuse me, where like you know, it's just like I don't know, there's like cool stuff going on, and it's very cave like. So this is like gonna be the back layer. Although I kind of do want. I mean, I guess I can put water in parts of it, and the water doesn't have to stretch like all the way across. So like, I don't know. Let's say So just to like rough it in, was it even gonna? I guess this can like just be bright. Yeah, this can like basically just be bright and basically just feature like the back wall stuff. Like we don't have to worry about any of this stuff in this like middle ground stuff because that will all be in the second layer. So yeah, kind of like this. I guess the back layer will actually be pretty bright. So what's the what's the palette of the front layer again? Yeah. So the palette of the back layer would be more like oh, interesting. All right, the dramatic lighting that I have going on this layer is not going to work. I have to tone that way down because a lot of the times the middle layer will be obstructing any light that would get through. So we can have a little bit of light. Jonas, yeah, welcome. We can have a little bit of light, but we don't want to go overboard with that. Because in some cases it'll only be representing reflected light. It won't be reflecting. It'll be it'll be indicating reflected light. It won't be indicating direct light. All right. So yeah, the back layer is gonna be like really pretty. So I'll just so the I don't know nice bright shiny minerals or whatever, and then oops, no, don't do that. So stop doing that, and then I think there'll be like a phosphorescence or a bioluminescence. I actually don't know the difference between those two things. Maybe they're the same thing. I don't know. No, but like basically fungi that glow. More value. Yeah, there we go. It's like delightful, glowing, fungal outcroppings. Oops, that's too small. Fungal outcroppings and like cool stuff like that. And then actually I should do, let's get this and then tone it down slightly, because this will be like the big body of water in the middle. So that, yeah, there will be like a big watery section, but it'll only take up like half of the ooh, and there should be a falls for no particular reason. There should be like a falls that like trickle in from like, I don't know, wherever else, and then what yeah, more of that fungal growth around the water, of course. Hey. Yeah, I started streaming late today, but people showed up like immediately, and it's been great ever since. So I feel blessed. Since I didn't stream over Thanksgiving, I will say now I feel very thankful for all of you wonderful people who spend time here. Yeah, yeah. I haven't seen 2D in a while, but no, actually for Thanksgiving when I was asked like what am I thankful for, the thing I said was like the big thing that I'm really thankful for is like technology that connects people, and I guess like now I'm more thankful for that than ever because I use it every day like to do this. So, oh yeah. Actually, there's no point in doing stuff like along the very bottom of the screen because we actually never see the very bottom of the screen, right? Like the only thing we ever, yeah. Oh wow, so those portals are actually pretty small. Like actually, yeah, with portals of those size, we actually never even really see. All right, so that's important to note. So actually, on this layer, we never see anything. And I might want to make some of those portals bigger. That might be like taller. Not necessarily wider, because yeah, with we never actually see anything below this point. So I might as well just delete that. Oops. I was working on the wrong layer. Oops. What am I doing? Alright, here we go. Because, yeah, this whole bottom section is just, like, useless. I'll make it just, like, an obnoxious color so I know not to, draw over it. Yeah, because, like, from the top layer... Oops, not that. From the top layer, we can't see any of that, ever. Alright, so... I just basically just have to shift everything upwards is all I have to do there. Just, like, move the, oh, no. Technology. I think I'm ruining like the battery on my laptop because I leave it plugged in like all day, and I think you're not supposed to actually do that with stuff that has batteries. You're supposed to like not. You're supposed to like actually like use the battery. At least I don't know. That was something that I'd heard. So I just assume that that my battery is basically that my battery is basically like forfeit because of my usage patterns. I guess we'll find out someday when it either just doesn't keep a charge at all or something along those lines. But I mean, I actually don't use my. No, I do use my laptop unplugged sometimes. I just like whenever I'm streaming, I have it plugged in, which is the important stuff. Let's be honest. All right, so this is the range. This is what we actually have to work with here. Is this range? So yeah, same thing that we were just doing. I mean, I guess this is fine for now, because I'm just mocking it up. And so so then the this middle layer is the stuff that I want to add. And so this middle layer, I think it's actually going to be like, in parts, it's actually going to be darker than the front layer. So we have this front layer, and the dark color for the front layer is like this. And I think the dark color, or maybe it'll be the same darkness for this other layer. Yeah, we can probably use the same darkness now that I think about it. No, maybe a little darker. We'll see. Oh, the one thing I really have to do with this background layer is I really need to sell, oops. Yeah, right? Alright, so I might just have to buy a new laptop battery at some point in the future. But I've kind of come to terms with that because I don't really have a better solution. Like well, part of that is because the power settings on my laptop are mutinous. My laptop literally defies its own power settings. Like, you can set whatever power settings you want, and it'll just be like, to heck with it, and it just does its own thing. It's kind of annoying. But the result is that I can't unplug it, or else it'll just randomly it'll randomly just like cut power to the processor and like go into like this whatever. I'm just gonna have to buy a new battery someday. All right, I guess actually these red outlines kind of apply to this layer as well, but I won't care about that immediately because I will. Oh yeah, the thing I was going to say about the background is that it'll be important to make it clear that this background that we're seeing is also in a cave. So I can make it bright and interesting, but I do need to really sell that it's still a cave, because otherwise it'll look like we're looking outside of the cave, which I don't necessarily want to be. Hey, we got a new follower. Zip 0745. Hey, welcome. Thank you for following. I appreciate your viewership and your support. Um, uh, yeah, because I really want this to be underground. I don't want it to be like just a rock tunnel above ground. The name of the stream very clearly states that